Welcome back to Super Sentai Review, episode 51. This is discussing episodes 25 to 28 of Denziman. Yes, more episodes. Now, here's the thing. 3 out of 4 of these episodes, it just seems as though that Queen Hazard is like almost running out of ideas. Like, she just does this stuff because she just feels like it. Take, for example, 25, where we actually have, for the first time ever, Denzi Yellow having a standalone episode. I mean, that's interesting. When was the last time he ever had one? Because a lot of the time, a lot of the other characters have one, but not him. Nope, he was the last one for quite a while. Excuse me. So there's this daughter of a shop owner who's got a thing for him, and apparently he's socially inept. So basically, Queen Hazard is playing this simply this: seduce him away from Denziman just to basically wipe them out. I'm like, okay. Yeah, it's not exactly very. Of course, how they do this is like, okay, let's have the monster pose as the girl who likes him, go on dates with him, and even he points out though this is not how she normally acts, and points out this is a clone, and then eventually they drive the monster out, they feed the monster, and that's it. Not real much to 25 at all. Nope. 26 is a very interesting episode. This one where we see this is an episode focused on Denzi Green. Yes, that's something interesting about these episodes. Like 25, Denzi Yellow, 26, Denzi Green, because the singer pops up in the episode. The character wise is no friend of his. He only appeared just for a standalone episode. 27 is just just a team working together. It's not a group episode. It's basically a group episode. 28 surprisingly is sort of a Denzai Pink episode, which is kind of odd to say the least. Now, so basically, Denzi Green's friend is a singer, and he has a song called Golden Honey, which apparently when the Vader clan decided to listen to the damn thing, apparently it's a song to excise demons. I'm like, really? I'm like, that's interesting. And it was suspected that the singer got the song from Princess Denzi. Turns out he didn't. He bought it in Turkey when he was traveling the world. Bought it from some random old man, and they show him the disc. And now the thing is, this is actually a silver disc. Now apparently they like it so much, so the general host like, okay, let's do something completely original. Let's have the monsters destroy all the music shops and have all music be discontinued for a while. Every single bit of music. I'm like, wow, over one song. All because the Queen doesn't like the song very much. Yeah, it sounds quite petty, doesn't it? It kind of does, but it does actually hurt her. But we do see briefly some stock footage from the actual Denziman movie. Which, that's interesting. Yes, they actually used a tiny bit of stock footage, mostly her and her boat, per se. But this is another episode that kind of explores something related to the Denzis, which I thought was quite interesting. Out of these 4, this is by far the best episode. Yeah, it's well written. Now, in the case 27, it's just basically 2 boys who apparently don't like doing their homework, so they are put in timeout because they didn't do their homework. And they get their, and of course they run these 2 ladies who just happen to be the Vader spies, and take them to a tree that happens to have these rhinoceros beetles. Yes, seriously. And apparently these things actually explode. And I think, oh, this forest basically is responsible. Let's just demolish it. Even though the forest is innocent. Yeah, I'm like, really? So you can't check these trees, so let's just demolish all these trees because we can. Yeah. Eventually, of course, Montauk was destroyed, and of course, that's a first time in a few episodes done one of these. Oh yeah, let's have the monster turn to a head and attack the Rangers, which I thought was quite. I actually liked that little thing. At least they waited a few episodes before they did it again. Yep, it's an okay episode. It's not exactly the best one here. Now, excuse me. The thing with episode number 28, this is actually the first supernatural based episode of this particular thing. where we have this interpolate, we have this guy following another guy, who this guy also saw Denzi Pink, and he smiled at her, and she dropped her compact. That does come to play as a minor plot thread. That comes back later on in the episode. And here's something interesting though about the actor who plays him. This guy would, get this, over 20 years later, be the voice of the character Broodwing, the character from Power Rangers SPD. He voices his Sentai counterpart. Yep, over 20 years later. Yes, it is one of two other characters this guy has played. Now, in the sub I seen of it, he's called Der Ranger. Even though his name is pronounced Dillinger. He apparently is he's a supernatural serial killer. He kills important people, and and apparently somehow Queen Heller got notified by him, and then she just hires him. He's basically the first human to go to. From what I can tell, anyway, he's the first ever human to set foot in the Vader base. Who is the first person in Vader base who's not part of the Vader group, which that is quite interesting. And well, too bad he's only here just for this one episode, because I thought he'd be a quite interesting character. And he does explain where he got his powers from. A shaman in Africa taught him this. I'm like, okay. But that's interesting. Do we necessarily know the shaman is? Probably not, per se. It's not really big of an issue, but at least he does explain where he get the powers from. Then he's hired by Queen Heller to kill the Denzi Rangers. Of course. Because they're her enemy. Hire people to kill them. Does he get paid? Don't know. Weird thing is, it's never mentioned if this guy is a hired gun. Per se. Yeah, he's never mentioned at all. So, excuse me. So eventually, of course, it's revealed that during the course of the episode, he runs into Pinkin. He apparently starts to fall in love with her. I would not disagree, basically, following this woman. Yeah, he points out, though, she's gorgeous, which I agree, she is. Though the actress herself currently is in her 60s now, but damn, at this point, she was a very beautiful woman. Like a picture of her that I think came out several years ago. She looks actually pretty good for her age. I've never met the actress at all, so because of her charm, because of how good she is, because of how good looking she is, she apparently turns on people who hired him, and they kill him, and then of course the individual just killed. Now, throughout this whole episode, the real monster, that's what he is. It's almost like, and by the way, I think they reused this type of character for Zoo Ranger, because the guy is all about riddles, and we have a Sphinx character who's all about solve the riddle to Phoenix, which is very similar to that episode from Zoo Ranger. It's very similar to that. So, imagine that monster to be. It's like this monster does not play a role. It focuses a lot more on Dillinger than the actual Vader monster. Now, okay, what about the actual numbers for these monsters? Okay. Well, Nezer, who appears in episode 28, he's the 27th monster. Yep, he's monster 27. Okay, what about the tree monster? Well, he is the 25th monster in episode 27. 26, it is Rockchiller. He's monster 24. Yes. And 25, who's an eye monster, he is the 23rd monster. I'm like, okay, interesting. Yes. Am I looking forward to what happens next? Yes, definitely. I'm looking forward to basically watching the rest of this. Now, as of episode 28, I have exactly, get this, 23 episodes left to go for Denziman. I am roughly a little over halfway through these episodes, which is good. And, well, can't wait to discuss the rest, okay? Okay, so that's it for Sick Review. Next one's a comic core discussing some Batman stuff, okay? Next video. Bye.